Hey guys, and welcome back to Balancing Positive Ascension Frequency Systems with Aria Jade. I'm in my metaphysical shop on Rainbow Drive today. I thought I would bring you guys in here possibly one last time. The building has been bought by a new person who, of course, had to secure a loan at the bank because she didn't have the money to just buy it and own it. So now she's going to have to make enough to make the payment and pay her some money, whereas the guy that had it before owned it straight up and all of our rent went to him. So the shop is probably going to have to close its brick and mortar and be just online. So I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the things that are in here that are available through the website at folkafllc.com. So we've got all of the herbs, we've got all of the oils, right, that you would need. We have planetary oils. We just broke it down and made it more simple. You know, when you are doing energy moving, which is natural, it's healing, it's promoting, it just removes obstructions that are in the way so that the energy can flow in directions that we want, that we intend for it to flow. Now, this knowledge we're remembering, because when we hear it, it resonates. We're like, that makes sense. Why didn't I already know about that? But like I was talking about in previous videos, they have demonized symbols and animals and rituals. Even the word ritual has been demonized. We do that in church. We go through rituals when we do the Lord's Supper. We go through a ritual when we, at the end of the service, when we close, and they have like the benediction where they call you up front and say, oh, you need to be saved. When all it is a change in believing. We need hope. We have to have spirituality to be able to thrive and thrive happily in knowing that this is supposed to be a nice experience, and so are all the ones that come after this. This is not the only one. We're now coming in, this summer especially, to the fact that life is not linear. The body, of course, can't go on to the next stage, has to stay here in its 3D realm where it was created. But the consciousness, the spirit, we all know, transforms and goes on. We do the heat chart in 8th grade science and the changes of matter. And the kids have to show how on the chart, I should show you one of these, that it flatlines, right? You start out at 0 Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, a piece of ice. And as the heat goes up, the ice begins to melt. But then, for a couple of minutes, it looks like nothing's happening. It does what I call flatlining, just like we do when we die. When something is when something is going through a transformation, it has to build in energy before it pops into whatever it's going to be next. It's not, it is magic, it's technology, but it's transformation. And it's either going to happen boom, boom, quick, or it's going to take it a little bit of time. And that's what we're learning to manage, hopefully, while we're here in this 3D experience. And in my intention that I speak over my life and yours as much as I can, at the end of it, it's from time, space, and currency. We are free. So mote it be. That's what the WOZ that looks like Wizard of Oz, my sigil, that's what it means. We owe zero. I want my time to be totally mine, at least a decade or two, before I have to drop this body and leave and go on to the next journey. And I know that you do too. And that should just be our right as being incarnated into this planet, you know? But we've all got to get our space. We've all got to get our platform. We've all got to build all these things to get the currency, the current of the energy working for you. You know, that's what I've done with this channel. And hopefully I am empowering you to go about and do something similar. Make your voice heard. Whatever it is that's inside of you, that's a desire, that's just burning, you're passionate about it. That's what you're here to do. That's part of your activation. Now you've got to have the guts to drop the fear, because, yeah, it's probably not what other people think, believe, see, feel. That's why you are having it. You are supposed to open that energy up. Let me tell you, it's not easy. I'm in rural northeast Alabama. You know, I've shaved part of my head. I had part of it purple. Got these tattoos. I don't like clothes. I was born here, but most people were like, don't think that I was born here. My daughter-in-laws, both of them are from California. I seem to pull Californians toward me. Sammy, that runs the shop most of the time, is from LA. If you've been in, you've seen her. But I push past the lines of what has been okay, because it just should be. You know, the people around here, many, not everyone, many of the people around here look at me in some kind of way, or they try not to look at me at all. Now that's the part, and I can understand. There's the internet is making us bash each other. You know, they're turning it into the linear male, female, the polarizations, you know, the Democrats and the Republicans, the blacks and the whites, the rich and the poor. It's getting to a point to where that's not it. We are realizing we're smarter than that. You can't play us forever. You know, we can't. We're not. The group is growing. Love and light, balanced with the shadow and boundaries, is rising. We're starting to build these communities. We are starting to communicate. We're starting to let each other know the truth of how to be happy from the inside out, and how to live in a sovereign way so that we don't have to depend on the government anymore, because our government is corrupt. We know this, we have known this, right? And it's like we're all just waiting for the other shoe to drop and watching all the things that are happening. Get back on subject, Shelley. But food banks are becoming natural food banks, real food banks. Around here, at least, are becoming community gardens. The schools growing natural, real foods. This is becoming a trend. Thank God. And like I said in yesterday's video, your plants know when you get home. They know who waters them. They have a frequency and a vibration and an aura and an electrical field and all of the things, right? And they are here to heal us. We work in symbiosis together for health. Well, if you're not out there in the dirt or on the ground with your bare feet at some point in time. I mean, I am every day. You want to be every day. But at some point during the week, goodness, get out there. Get on it. Get in it. Let the sun hit the tree of life, which is up your spinal column, and all those little roots and branches are your nervous system. Don't take a Wellbutrin, Lexapro, what's all the freaking pills they gave me and my kids to sedate us, when what we needed to do was get back outside and calm our nervous system and direct our energy and take control of our path instead of giving it up to a preacher, a teacher, a doctor, a guru, or somebody outside of ourselves. We are now remembering that God is within, that Source is inside us, and we are fractals of the whole, just striving and thriving to be more every day, right? Some of us, some are NPCs, and you can't force them to become anything else. But anyway, back to concordances as well. The food is super important to give you health and life. And then once you've got the proper water coming in, the proper food coming in, your energy levels should start to rise. You got to stop with the bread. You know, we all know these things. Those diabetes in a bag. But then your correspondences each go with the moon, but you don't have to. A lot of people do because it's just easier. As the moon grows, it's reflecting more light, more energy, more information from the sun, right? You do things that you want to make happen while it's growing. We had a full moon, Moon Day Monday, yesterday. So we're going to do things now that take things away, that make things, if you are trying to get rid of an addiction, which I definitely want to talk about more on this channel, this is the time to do it, right? You would ask, who would be good for any of the, you know, we have Monday, Moon Day, Artemis, Hecate, who else is over the moon? Horus, right? You've got Tuesday, Mars, any of the deities there, or who you would be coming into congruence with. Wednesday, Mercury, Hermes, Thoth. Thursday, Jupiter, Zeus. Friday, Freya, Venus, beauty and love, and love Fridays. The only two feminine days are Monday and Friday, right? Saturday, of course, Saturn, and Sunday, Helios, Ra. Who else? Jesus. Jesus is the sun that rises, that rose, right? Which we know is really our sun, which is in the sky, which if it didn't rise every day, within 8 minutes, we would be frozen and die and fall out. Anywho, you guys know the concordances, or maybe not. You can look them up and find them very easily. But we have made our road openers, carrier oils is a lot of what they call these, up to go with specific planets, so you're not digging for all kinds of different herbs that are correspondences for Monday. You'll have your Moon Day, let me turn this down, Moon Day concordance oil, right? Carrier oil. And if you guys don't know how this works, you just get that colored candle for the day, and you're going to write your intention right on there. And this is taking that frequency of your voice to another level. It's taking it up into a gas level, right? And announcing what you want, what you need, what you've got to get rid of. And we're going to stick with getting rid of an addiction. Okay, since the moon is waning, it's going to take it away. You're going to write said addiction on your candle. I always use a toothpick with your name away from Shelley. And then let's say my candle's orange, so I'm going to ask Helios or Jesus. I'm going to ask Jesus to help me make this happen for me, right? And then you would take, so we've got solar oil. It's not actually called sun oil or whatever. You take your carrier oil, put it on your candle. You're anointing your candle. You're wanting to take this away from you. So I would push it away. For something that you're trying to manifest into your life, like money or health or something like that, you would pull the carrier oil toward you. All right. After you do this, you might want to roll it in a corresponding herb, something that you've looked up that you find out is also good for taking away illness or stress or whatever it is, the addiction that you're trying to get rid of. You just put it in your candle holder, light it, and consider it done. That's the main part to a lot of this. You've got to move it mentally in your mind into the space of being truly possible. That's what all of this is doing. And people demonized it when it's science. It's just taking the elements that we've been given and asking them to help us bring about the life, the desires that we've been put here to have. You know, you are a bridge, a spiritual bridge from the spiritual world to here. Your thoughts hit you in the transistor that is you. So you were put here to do great things, and you can do great things. So we need to first know that, and second, take that in and start doing the thing. You know, after you've done it once or twice, it does take, I don't want to say willpower. It just takes a change in your mind. If you've got an addiction, the 12-step programs are great. All of the things are great. But until you find it in your chart, your star chart, pretty much, or even until you get that extra energy that is readily available to us all the time, it's going to be twice as hard to quit that. I have quit drinking twice. It had when it got to a level that just needed to stop. The second time around, I knew it. Can't say I was going to start on this day. It's a feeling. You feel it before, and you get your legs under you. You know, it's kind of like learning to ride a bike, learning to skateboard. You've got to get your legs under you and get that feeling. Same way with money. When my second husband and I were coming into money, we were opening businesses and doing things. We were riding four-wheelers, and I felt it. I knew we were going to hit that $1 million point. And we didn't. Another lesson, making a gross profit of $1 million is not the same as netting $1 million. very different scenarios. But anyway, I could feel it. I knew it was coming. And then I told him, I could feel things. We all can feel things. We've just let our feeler get a little rusty dusty. So that's what the meditation and the breathing and the grounding is essentially doing. Calming down all of the vibes and the frequencies and the things that are all around us to the point to where we can allow the goodness that is supposed to be ours to come through, to come in. Those ideas that are just waiting, they're there. They're for you. So, you could look us up online if you want these. You can make these yourself, but it's a lot easier. They're $8.88 at the shop or online. But more than that, start putting your intentions into action. You've got a thought, you write it down. You've got a need, you carve it in a candle. You light it, you pray, you speak, whatever you want to call it. Those are the vibrations that are not wasted. Your intentions are met and they're heard. You deserve the best in this life. Don't forget your breathing. Alternate nostril breathing is great if you have time. If you don't, just the box breath. You are in control of you. It is not your anxiety. It's the nervousness and the chaos of the outside world. Much health, much love, much light. Till next time.